What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Scatpack Shon, and we're back with another YouTube video. Perfect. Now 2 months ago I watched every live action Superman film and ranked them accordingly. Which film did I love? Which film did I hate? Because Superman had some stinkers. I'm not gonna lie. But today, man, forget Superman, bro. Today, we're watching the films from the GOAT of DC. The father of DC Comics. No disrespect to Superman, but Batman owns you.
I'm stronger, I'm smarter, I'm better. I am better.
So today, we're gonna go through every single Batman film.
Yes, sir.
And rank them accordingly. We're gonna be ranking these Batman films by these 5 criteria. Criteria number 1, aura. How cool is the guy? I mean, how does he look on screen? What's his screen presence looking like? What's his aura looking like? Number 2, gadgets. Now, pretty self-explanatory. What that Batmobile looking like? Right. What gadgets is he using to fight crime? We gotta see him. We gotta rank to see who has the best. Number 3, alter ego. The Bruce Wayne scenes. You know, so how is he as Bruce Wayne? Are the scenes compelling? Right? He's a billionaire playboy philanthropist. No Iron Man. Big Batman. But like, how is big Bruce Wayne, basically? Number 4, sidekicks, which is basically all the side characters but the villains as well. We know Batman has some very iconic villains, so it's gonna be kind of hard ranking which villain is up here, which villain is down here, because Batman has some stinkers as villains as well. Some pretty bad ones. And then number 5, Gotham. What's the city looking like? What's the culture? How is the city presented? Like, you know, world building, basically. We're ranking the world building. Like, does the Gotham feel tangible? Does the Gotham have style? Like, which Gotham do we like? You feel me? Or which rating are we going to give to the Gothams? But yeah, those are our 5 criteria. Now, let's get straight into it and get to Batman 1989. Batman 1989, an absolute classic, and it's a classic Batman versus Joker story. Getting straight into our criteria, beginning with aura. Batman's aura in this film is pretty high, I can't lie, bro. He's really cool. The suit is incredible. Now, although the suit looks incredible, there are a couple issues with functionality, you know what I'm saying? We'll get into that in a little bit. We'll get into I love the way he blends into the darkness. His poses throughout the entire film are on point. They're just magnifique. But getting into that functionality I was just talking about, whenever bro wanted to look up, he would hit one of these. Oh! Or to the side, he hit one of these. Oh! Because bro's neck can't turn at all. And it kind of took me out a little bit, and it took away from his aura. So for his aura, I gave him a rating of 7 out of 10. Gadgets, fire, smoke bombs, grapple hooks, zip lines, his Batmobile, so stylish. We all know the classic Tim Burton Batmobile. Every time it popped up on screen, I'm just like, bro, I want to drive that so bad. I want it.
Relax.
Then at the end of the movie, bro got a bat plane and was flying through Gotham. Peak. So for gadgets, 1989 Batman gets a rating of 9 out of 10, bro. His gadgets were incredible, I can't lie. For our next criteria, we have alter ego. So how were the Bruce Wayne scenes? Fantastico, okay? I call Bruce Wayne in this film Mr. Steal Yo Girl. Cause everywhere he went, he was stealing all the ladies, bro. It was crazy. He had that cool, calculated calmness. You know, he didn't have to flex his money, but he had the money, you know what I'm saying? Bruce Wayne got the money on. He's just a billionaire with a whole lot of swag. So for this reason, I gave the alter ego a rating of 8 out of 10. Cause I mean, Bruce Wayne was swaggy in this film, I can't lie. Now sidekicks, a little bit of a lower rating here if I'm being honest. Joker, he was just okay for me. He was just decent. I don't know, I know this is an iconic portrayal. Shout out to Jack Nicholson. The Shining is crazy overrated, but his Joker was just, he was cool. I mean, it was alright.
You can call me Joker. And as you can see, I'm a lot happier. The love interest was cool. I mean, a little bit, not underdeveloped, but a little
little boring if I'm being honest. I mean, she didn't have too much character to her. She didn't have too much spunk. She was just cool, I guess. And then that brings us to Alfred, in my opinion, the strongest side character in the film, so I gave Batman's sidekicks a rating of 6.5 out of 10. You feel me? Next criteria, Gotham. I love Tim Burton's design for Gotham. It's really gothic, I guess. Gothic mixed with like industrial. You know what I'm saying? The aesthetics, magnifique. You feel me? You know, we get a couple brief looks at the city throughout. Toward the end of the film, Batman's flying through with the bat plane flying over the city. Now, every brief look we get at the city is absolutely incredible. Now, I did take a couple points away because I just wanted to see more. I mean, it looks so cool. And I know probably budgetary reasons is why they didn't show so much Gotham, but I want to see more, man. It looks incredible. Now, compiling all our criteria together and averaging out the score, Batman 1989 gets a grade of a C+, which, I mean, that's not bad. It's not great, but I mean, the movie was pretty good. But yeah, this is where it stacks up. Well, Batman was a pretty strong start, man. I'm excited to see where this franchise goes. What's next? Oh, right. Batman Returns. Now, 1992's Batman Returns takes a lot of elements from the first movie and, you know what I'm saying, it builds on it. You know, it's bigger and better, in my opinion, decently better than the first movie. Nothing against the first movie, it's a classic, but I like Batman Returns a lot more. I hate that air conditioner, bro. Is it loud, y'all? It feels so loud to me, and it only comes on when I'm making videos, bro. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. All right, but screw that. Getting straight into our criteria, we have aura. And again, the suit is absolutely beautiful. Very heroic, very creepy in other scenes. But bro, the neck mobility is still an issue. It looks kind of cringe at moments. But still, now Batman got the bat signal, bro. The bat signal be hidden, bro. So aura, off the charts. Well, not off the charts. Aura, I gave him a rating of 8 out of 10. Pretty good, man. Next criteria up, gadgets. Now again, this Batman has a variety of tools and gadgets, and they're fire. I feel like his little bat zipline has upgraded from the last movie. It looked a lot cooler this time. Toward the end of the film, we get the bat boat zooming through the sewers, which was fire. It even did like a little barrel roll going on the ceiling to dodge a missile. Man, that joint was fire, bro. Now I did take a couple points away because at one point in the film, Batman's Batmobile was hacked by the Penguin and his goons. Ridiculous. I mean, come on, bro. You gotta have better security than that, bro. Low-key, they had Batman going through the city on a rampage. He almost ran over an old woman. So for all these reasons, his gadgets get a rating of 8 out of 10, which, I mean, not bad. Alter Ego, aka the Bruce Wayne scenes, fire. Okay, Bruce Wayne was so cool this time around. Saucing up Selena Kyle, standing on business in these business meetings, bruh. He was not going for nothing Max Schreck was talking about, bro. He was not trying to hear it. Not only was he standing on business in his meetings, he was standing on business in the face of danger. Did not let it get to him. So for these reasons, Alter Ego, aka the Bruce Wayne scenes, get a rating of 9 out of 10 for me. Bro, Bruce Wayne was hard. Sidekicks, 10 out of 10. I'ma just tell you off the rip because Catwoman, fire. Penguin, fire. Max Schreck, he was cool. Butler, wait, no, don't disrespect my man Alfred like that. Don't disrespect Alfred like that. Alfred, fire. Honestly, for me, the Penguin felt a little crazier than the Joker. I don't care if it's controversial, bro. The Joker was a letdown. The Penguin, he gave me everything I was looking for in a crazy supervillain. He was slimy, grotesque, and comedic all at the same time. Something the Joker couldn't pull off in the first one. And Catwoman, Let me chill out. But Catwoman was absolutely fire. You could tell she was kind of losing it as she was growing into her own, becoming the cat burglar and, you know, fighting and flirting with Batman, we could say. Fighting and flirting. But for these reasons, Batman Returns gets a rating of 10 out of 10 for the sidekicks. I already said that. And last but not least, Gotham. Now the mood of Gotham is still fire. The aesthetics, fire. I mean, it's kind of shrouded in darkness. They got like clouds all over the place. They got interesting architecture. Is just like every time I see a glimpse, I'm craving more. But I did like, again, I like what I'm seeing though. So for those reasons, Gotham in this film gets a rating of 8 out of 10, which is pretty good. But again, man, I'm scratch that is for me, man. Show me more Gotham, man. Dang. Now, compiling all our criteria together and averaging out a grade, Batman Returns gets a grade of a B. Hey man, B's get degrees, you feel me? That's a very good grade for Batman Returns. I honestly enjoyed this film a lot more than the first, so I'm happy to see it got a pretty solid grade. Here's where it lines up with the other Batman films, and I'm ready to get into the next one. Batman Forever. More like Batman Lasted Forever. This movie was not that bad, but it was pretty weird. Let's get right into it. So starting off with Aura. This Batman is pretty freaking cool, man. He has a new suit. He has some pretty good fighting moves. There were a couple scenes where his aura alone frightened the criminals and made them run away. Literally, just strictly off of aura. Not to mention, he blew the Riddler's mind at the end of the film using a riddle. I mean, that's walking aura right there. However, he does lose a couple of points because he got very unprofessional when Dr. Chase Meridian came around. Now, do I judge him? Can I blame him? Not really, because Chase Meridian, you know what I'm saying? But he got a little unprofessional. He's losing aura points for that. So for all these reasons, I gave this Batman and Batman Forever a grade of 8.5 out of 10 for the aura. That's not that bad. Next criteria up is gadgets. This dude is tricked out, man. He got the bat plane, bat boat. At one point, he had a bat submarine. Now, he does have a new Batmobile. I mean, it's a W gadget, but I mean, to be honest, the older design was much better. I mean, this new Batmobile, it has ribs. It's disgusting. It's honestly disgusting.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
He has new and improved stylized grappling hooks now. And we also get multiple bat suits throughout the duration of this movie. So he's really just showing off his gadgets collection. For these reasons, he gets a 10 out of 10 in the gadgets department. I'm not gonna lie, this Batman is tricked out. Next criteria up is alter ego. So like, how were the Bruce Wayne scenes? Pretty freaking cool, man. Billionaire with sauce, with aura. You know what I'm saying? He was just slick, bro. He was slick like oil, man. But even besides the scene with the ladies, he was a very good mentor to Lil Robin. In this film, we get to see Bruce kind of dealing with his inner trauma, dealing with the death of his parents. It's some deep stuff, if I'm being honest. So for this reason, Alter Ego gets a rating of 9 out of 10. The Bruce Wayne scenes were pretty enjoyable. I loved his interactions with the other characters. Fire. Here we go. So next criteria up is sidekicks. Now, we gotta talk about these villains. These villains were absolutely ridiculous. No. These villains were absolutely redundant. They were distracting, bro. It's like I said, it feels like they were having a competition on set of who can make their villain crazier than the other one. Who can be the craziest villain? Riddler or Two-Face? And they just kept going at it the whole movie. It was just distracting, bro. We also get Dick Grayson in this film. He's introduced as our new Robin, and he was okay, a bit reckless, a bit of a liability, to be honest. And it's like, dang, when did you become such a good fighter? you're a trapeze artist. But I mean, we can suspend our disbelief a little bit. Now we gotta talk about Mrs. Dr. Chase, man. Dr. Chase. So she's a new love interest, right? And she loves both Bruce Wayne and Batman. It's a little bit of a love triangle going on. Strange enough, because you know Bruce Wayne is Batman. My mom just called me, y'all.
Hey, you watching the draft?
No, I'm not. No.
Travis Hunter is going to the Jaguar.
Oh my gosh! Not scripted. Oh my! I'm wearing my Jaguars hoodie right now. That's crazy. I'm making a YouTube video.
Yo, you're not a Jaguars fan anymore.
I know, but that's turned though. Let's get to little Dr. Chase, man. Dr. Chase was seducing Batman, seducing Bruce Wayne, but she had love for both of them in her heart. It was a little bit of a strange love triangle going on, even though Bruce Wayne is Batman. You know, not trying to spoil anything. Dr. Chase, you know what I'm saying? She was distracting Batman mid-mission and setting up sneaky links. You don't believe me? Roll the clip. Roll the freaking clip, man.
My place. Midnight.
Literally, bro.
Literally!
Now, although Dr. Chase was supportive for Bruce, I feel like she was a bit of a distraction for Batman. And last but not least, Alfred. He's still my guy. He's my favorite character in the franchise thus far. Obviously Batman, but Alfred is so supportive and so loving and cool and chill, bro. Alfred really liked that in this series, I can't lie. Now, despite Alfred's hard carrying, the sidekicks in this film get a rating of 5 out of 10. That's our worst grade yet, but Alfred's still my guy. The final criteria is Gotham. Like, how's the city? How are the aesthetics? How's the vibe, you know? Pretty freaking fire. Like, it's not Burton's Gotham, but it's a little technologically advanced. It has like a lot more skyscrapers this time, but we get to see more of the city. And I really like what we got to see, man. I really like some of the shots of Batman gliding through the city. There was one scene he jumped off of a super tall building. Fire. I mean, Gotham, you could really see more of the city this time around. The lighting was cool. It's not Burton's moody atmospheric lighting. It's more colorful, bright, vibrant, kind of reflects our world a little bit more. Mixed with Burton's a little bit, but not as stylized as Burton. But I love this iteration of Gotham. It looked very sleek, it looked very smooth, it looked very saucy. So that lands Gotham a rating of 9 out of 10 for Batman Forever. It was pretty sweet. Compiling all our criteria together, Batman Forever gets a total rating of a B. Pretty solid. Now, a lot of people say this is one of the worst in the franchise. So far, this is the worst I've seen, but as far as our criteria, it got all good grades. So this is where it lines up on the tier list. This is where it lines up. Excuse me. Now, that being said, people say Batman Forever is one of the worst. But a lot of people say Batman and Robin is the worst.
Try!
So let's talk about Batman and Robin. Alright, Batman and Robin, let's talk about it, man. Batman and Robin is the worst of the Batman films I've seen so far. It was cringe. It was goofy, but a little too goofy. A lot too goofy. It kind of blew me, I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen a superhero film that was this silly, man. I mean, it was made to sell toys, and I think we all can tell. But anyways, let's get right into this criteria, starting with aura. Now, comparing this Batman to the Batman from just the last movie, the aura, it's not lining up, you feel me? Val Kilmer's Batman had a lot of aura, had a lot of swag. George Clooney, his Batman is not as cool, I'm not gonna lie to you. Now, his fighting is decent though. The fight scenes and the action scenes in this film are actually, they're enjoyable, they're fun. This movie is fun, but it's not funny, if that makes sense. And Batman cracks a lot of jokes in this film. It's ruining his aura. It's ruining his aura. He's being quippy, dropping one-liners. It's really baffling at this point. It made no sense. Several times throughout the film, he was easily seduced by Poison Ivy. Now, can I blame the guy? No, I can't blame the guy. But you're Batman, bro. You're not supposed to be susceptible to these toxins. You're supposed to be able to breathe that stuff in and, you feel me, stand on business. So for this reason, Batman and Robin gets a rating of 6.5 out of 10. It's not that good, man. For our next criteria, we have gadgets. Now, their whole array of gadgets is on display in this film. They got bat ice skates, which I personally thought were tough. I know a lot of people probably think that's corny, that's goofy, but hey, the whole movie's corny and goofy. That was actually kind of cool. They updated the bat grappling hook, so now they look even more stylish, and they really came in clutch toward the end of the film. The new Batmobile was absolutely disgusting. I mean, disgusting. Disgusting. It doesn't even have like a roof. It doesn't even have any protection. It's like, no. But other than that, I mean, the gadgets were smooth, but it started to get a little ridiculous when bro pulled out the Bat credit card. When he pulled out the Bat credit card, I wanted to turn my TV off and I wanted to go to sleep. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's a utility belt, not a money belt. 6 million.
7 million.
But for all those reasons, Gadgets gets a rating of 8 out of 10. It wasn't that bad, it wasn't that great, but it was decent, it was pretty good. Next criteria up is alter ego. Now, we have a new Batman, we have a new Bruce Wayne, we have George Clooney now in the role. And as I mentioned previously, in comparison to Val Kilmer, in the Batsuit, his aura, nowhere near. Now, Bruce Wayne, he has the look, right? He has a little bit of swag, but it's not enough, man. He's just super dry in this film, super boring in this film. And he doesn't really have as much chemistry as Val Kilmer had. I guess Val Kilmer didn't have too much chemistry with Robin either, but it was better to watch than this. I mean, this version of Bruce Wayne was super boring. And, you know, Bruce Wayne always getting the ladies, that wasn't really shown on screen this much. He was getting played around with by Poison Ivy, so not valid, guys, not valid. So for these reasons, alter ego, aka the Bruce Wayne scenes, get a rating of 5 out of 10. Not very good, man, not very good. Here we freaking go. Sidekicks. These villains were redumulous. Redumulous, bro. Mr. Freeze took me out of the movie every time he spoke. I mean, toward the beginning of the movie, the opening of this film was fire. I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna say that. I was actually excited. I was like, what? This is awesome. Like, literally, bro. Even the whole surfboard, the cowabunga, you know, his puns were hitting. At first, he was like, chill, everybody, chill. Blast him with his cold gun. I was excited. I'm not gonna lie. But then he just kept making jokes and kept making puns and kept making corny jokes. And I was like, oh no, he won't stop. Bro, by the end of the movie, I was begging him to stop. Begging him to stop. But he just kept going. So, I mean, Mr. Freeze was absolutely obnoxious. Poison Ivy was a freaking joke. I mean, she was super goofy. And she fine though. She fine though. Her origin was absolutely ridiculous. No. I gotta show that scene when he said, now you have to die, or something. It was something like that. And it was the funniest thing I've seen all day.
I'm afraid you'll have to die.
Bane? Bane who? This was not, hashtag not my Bane, bro. This was not Bane I was watching, bro. This grunt gorilla wasn't even able to formulate sentences longer than 2 words. He could only say 1 word at a time. Are you freaking serious? Why try and adapt Bane if you're not gonna adapt him correctly, bro? Why did they make Bane restart it? If you catch my drift. Now, it's not even just limited to the villains, bro. The side characters, the sidekicks, the actual sidekicks like Robin, garbage in this film. He was in love with Poison Ivy. He had the biggest crush on Poison Ivy to the point where he was beefing with Batman like, you're just mad she loves me and not you. What, Robin? Like, you want to go back on the street? You're fired. If I'm Batman, you're fired. You're gonna be back in the circus because you're acting like a clown right now. You feel me? But I mean, Robin was absolutely redumulous in this movie. Batgirl, redumulous. It made absolutely no sense. She joined the team in the last 10 minutes and knew how to work the bat grapples, knew how to work all the gadgets, right? Knew how to fight all of a sudden, knew how to save people. It was crazy. I'm like, hold on. So she just a part of the team now? She beat Poison Ivy when the boys couldn't? It made no sense, bro. It makes no sense. Yeah, as y'all can tell, the side characters in this film, and y'all know Alfred's my guy. He wasn't in this one. He was barely in it. He was sick. So a lot of the time he was off screen dealing with his ailments. And I'm like, bro, Alfred, come get these people right, man. Come lock in. But I think this is the last time we're gonna see that version of Alfred, for sure, because we're on to the reboot next. But anyways. Sidekicks, side characters, garbage. They get a rating of 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10 buns. Oh my goodness, buns. All right, now let me wash my palette, wash those garbage side characters off, and now we're gonna talk about Gotham. Now, this incarnation of Gotham is peak. I ain't gonna lie, it's peak. It's comic book goodness. Like I said with Batman Forever, there were technological advancements, but this one had technological advancements mixed with old architecture, like with statues incorporated into the buildings, right? With these crazy looking alleys, the lighting was fire. It's no Tim Burton, but it's its own thing. It's really colorful. The set design, fire. I mean, even like Poison Ivy's lair was fire. The streets of Gotham were fire. I mean, magnifique. And then when you started freezing it, that kind of gave it more character, and they thought it out. I don't know. But this version of Gotham was freaking flames. Gotham for this film gets a rating of 10 out of 10. Hey, they got something right, man. Now, compiling all our grades together, Batman and Robin gets a grade of a D. Well, darn, I mean, it's like the movies just keep getting worse, huh? I mean, Batman Forever was pretty bad. Batman and Robin was garbage. It's time for a reboot. Batman Begins. Honestly, bro, one of the greatest origin stories put to film, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Peak comic book fiction, peak comic book film, just incredible. And I can't believe I've never seen this movie before. I don't know if I've seen it when I was real young and maybe I just don't remember, but zero memory of this film. But I'm glad I rewatched it, man, or watched it for the first time. I don't even know, but this movie was freaking amazing, man. But let's get into our criteria, starting with Aura. Gang. Batman has never looked this cool on screen, you know, up to this point, of course. But I mean, the suit, we still got that weird neck action going on, but dog, the suit, I love the cape, the gliding, dog, it made me want to wear capes. And as a superhero fan, I hate capes, bro.
No capes. No capes.
They're so impractical, they're just goofy, but he pulls it off, man. I ain't gonna lie. He makes me like capes more, bro. For those reasons alone, he gets a 10 out of 10 on the Aura department, bro. And I ain't even talk about his posing. I ain't even talk about his voice. I know a lot of people kind of clown him for his Batman voice. You know, a lot of people say Christian Bale's Batman voice is goofy. I see a lot of memes, you know, jokes. I thought it was cool, man. I mean, what do you expect him to sound like? You know, you gotta have a little raspiness in there.
I'm Batman.
But yeah, man, Aura, 10 out of 10, loved it. Next criteria up, gadgets. Killed it here too, man. Like, we were watching those OG movies, but now we got a little more modern technology. We got a new and improved grappling hook. We got little mini bombs. We got some really slick looking batarangs. We have a suit that's actually, you know, functional and you can actually fight in it. And last but not least, we have a freaking big body tank. Are you serious right now? Gadgets get a rating of 9 out of 10 for me. He killed it in this department, and I wish I was Batman at this point. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I'm a Spider-Man guy, but bruh, Batman Begins got me feeling different, gang. Next up, Alter Ego, aka the Bruce Wayne scenes, and bro, they build here as well. I mean, we get way more of Bruce. We get to see his internal conflict dealing with justice and vengeance. You know what I'm saying? Becoming the Batman, which is much needed. And we get some much needed Bruce Wayne action, bro. We see Bruce throwing hands, you know, outside of the suit when he was training with the League of Assassins, training under Ra's al Ghul, however you want to pronounce it. And not to mention, you know, the billionaire stuff, he's still swaggy, he still got the aura, he still got the sauce. The Alter Ego in Batman Begins gets a rating of 9 out of 10, man. Just killing it across the board. Next criteria up is sidekicks or side characters. And right off the rip, man, Lucius Fox was incredible, a great addition, and I really like Morgan Freeman, so seeing him, you know, it was a welcome addition. This version of Alfred, I thought he was pretty good. I mean, he wasn't as good as the previous one, because I don't know why, I just really love that previous version. But this Alfred was pretty good. Next character up is Rachel. Now, she was very beautiful, but she was very supportive to Bruce. You know, she helped him figure out what it is he wants to be for Gotham, you know, rather than just a symbol of violence and vengeance and revenge, a symbol for hope and a symbol for justice. And last but not least, but actually least in my opinion, I mean, the villains. I mean, we got Scarecrow, we got Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul. I'm just gonna call him Riz al Ghul.
What?
I thought Scarecrow was pretty cool. I mean, the fear toxin was dope, but he just seemed a little weak. Like, it was just a punching bag. He got locked up at one point in the movie. Little weak sauce. I could take Scarecrow, I feel like, you know, especially if I had that antidote that Batman had. I'm boxing Scarecrow up, you know what I'm saying? And also, Ra's al Ghul. Now, for majority of the movie, he was going under an alias, disguising himself from Bruce. But we figure out at the end, Liam Neeson is actually Ra's al Ghul. Which, I mean, we all knew, you know, is the big actor. Of course it's gonna be Liam Neeson. But yeah, I mean, I just didn't buy him as a, you know, master combatant. I mean, it's Liam Neeson. He's old as freak. But I did like the kind of banter between him and Bruce. You know, they were going at each other, you know. It was the student taking on the teacher, which, I mean, that was pretty cool, but still just kind of boring as a character, I can't lie. So overall, sidekicks get a rating of 7 out of 10 for me, personally. Final criteria up, Gotham. Now, here we go. We're in the Nolanverse now, and I'm not a big fan of his incarnation of Gotham, but in Batman Begins, it's the best it's going to be for the entire franchise. Spoilers. It's actually just like a regular city, but there's a couple comic booky additions throughout. Like the train transportation system that goes above ground, it looks pretty stylish, it looks pretty cool. It gets blown up at the end of the movie though. And also the slums part of Gotham that was really incorporated toward the end of the film. It looked really dope. And when I was doing some research, I saw that they used miniatures for a lot of those shots. And that's fire to me. Like, you know, they use miniatures for the older Tim Burton films as well, which is, you know, I didn't know that until I learned that they did it again for Batman Begins. I'm like, yo, what happened to practical movies, bro? Why is everything CGI today? The miniatures hold up, they look so good. But the Gotham's kind of mid. It's like a real world city with a couple unique additions. So for those reasons, I rated Gotham a 6 out of 10. It's okay. Now overall, compiling all our criteria together, we get a grade of a B-. Now that's not that bad. I mean, this is where it lines up with the other films. But like I said, Batman Begins was freaking fire. You know, I'm a Spider-Man guy, so it's kind of hard for me to compare it to the OG Raimi Spider-Man origin story. But I was comparing it in my mind to the Amazing Spider-Man origin story, which I really enjoy as well. And I'm like, low-key, which film do I like more? I mean, Batman Begins was pretty tough. You know, I'm a Spider-Man guy, but I love Batman Begins, bro. I'm gonna be honest. It made me want to become Batman. No, I'm kidding. But Batman Begins, a very strong start for the Christopher Nolan trilogy. Now, I hope the second one can be better. I mean, who knows, man? It's hard to follow up such a hit like that. Look what time it is, y'all. It's 5:20. I feel like Batman at this point, bro. So, yeah, bro, it's hard for me to keep my eyes open, dog. But I'm not even that tired. It's just my eyes are dry. The Dark Knight. One of the greatest comic book stories of all time. One of the greatest sequels of all time. Bro, everything is bigger and better. Everything is cooler. Batman, whew, I don't want to spoil our criteria, so let's get straight into it. We're gonna start with Aura. Bro, Batman gets a new suit. Batman's voice is even deeper and grungier. Batman is throwing hands this time. He's a little bit known at this point around Gotham, so at this point he's striking fear into his enemies. You feel me? The cape gliding looks cooler than ever, bro. He's disappearing into thin air. He's stealth takedowns, bro. Batman's aura in The Dark Knight gets a rating of 10 out of 10, bro. He's just so cool. His aura was pouring off the screen, bro. Next criteria, gadgets. Bro, the tank can separate into a bat pod? What are we doing, bro? Batman's gadgets get cooler and cooler in the Nolan trilogy, in my opinion. His grapples were more tactical and he incorporated them a lot more. He was using his grapples in combat too. It was like grappling people's legs and pulling them from under, bro. So fire. I mean, he got a new suit, so not only is it more tactical, he can actually move his freaking head, but it's a little more stylish. It's a lot more stylish, bro. And last but not least, he has a new echolocation system where he can really see across the entirety of Gotham, which is kind of overpowered. And they even mentioned in the film, like, morally, like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about Batman being able to find anybody anywhere at any time, yeah. So they even destroy the technology at the end, but that's still a gadget that he used. Overall, The Dark Knight's Batman gets a rating of 9 out of 10 for the gadgets. I mean, just spectacular, man. Next criteria up is alter ego. Now, the Bruce Wayne scenes in this movie were fire as well. I mean, we get a little bit of his love story between him and Rachel, which I really enjoyed. I know Rachel chose my man Harvey, but we'll get to that in the side character. We'll get to that. Bruce Wayne is dealing with his secret identity a lot throughout this film. You know, the Joker is directly challenging him, saying, hey, Batman, you gotta expose who you are. So we get to see a lot of Bruce Wayne's inner turmoil, thinking like, should I expose myself? Should I stay secret? Should I keep trying to save the city secretly? And I really enjoyed it. Added a level of depth. And we get a heroic scene of Bruce Wayne whipping his Lambo and zooming in front of an incoming truck to save someone's life. Being a hero in and out the suit, but that's peak. So overall, for all these reasons, Bruce Wayne, aka the alter ego scenes, get a rating of 8 out of 10 for me. I enjoyed them. Next criteria up, sidekicks or side characters. Bruh. Joker. That's all I gotta say, bro. Heath Ledger's version of the Joker is absolutely iconic for a reason, bro. He absolutely stole every scene he was in. At some point, man, I'm like, is this Batman's movie or is this Joker's movie, man? You know, in a good way. Not like them OG villains from the earlier ones where they were just like distracting. No, he was adding to every scene he was in. Now, Harvey Dent, phenomenal. When he was, you know, a good guy before he went crazy, before he got Two-Face, and then after the Two-Face transformation, yeah, it was kind of funny to me. It didn't really make that much sense. Like, he was taking his anger out on, well, yeah, the mob bosses for sure, but he was going after Jim Gordon's family, it was just strange. I'm like, bro, you going after everybody except the Joker. The Joker's the one that had your girl murked. Go get some get back. What are you doing going after Jim's family? So I mean, that was a little questionable. Lucius and Alfred, they're still keeping it P. Rachel was a lot better in this film. Now, She does get killed, man. She does get killed, but she was a lot better before she died. And you know, her relationship with Bruce, it was fire. It's like, will they, won't they? They won't. But overall, for sidekicks or side characters, I gave them a rating of 11 out of 10. Yeah, it's getting to be that type of time now, bro. These side characters, villains, they were fire, bro. They were the best part of this film. You know, but on top of Batman being good, bro, this is one of the best comic book films, best sequels for a reason. Now, last criteria is Gotham. Yeah, man. Now, I will start with what this film did well with Gotham. They really explored the political, right? The political side of Gotham and, you know, dealing with the mayor a lot, dealing with Harvey Dent and him eventually running for mayor. But, I mean, other than that, man, it was very uninspired, very boring. It just felt like a normal American city in the real world. So it's like, you know, it's a comic book movie game. Like, what are we doing? Where's the comic book elements? They even gave us a new version of the Wayne Tower. They made it more boring. Like, what are we doing? Gotham in this film gets a rating of 4 out of 10. I mean, yeah, that's just one of our criteria, and it's bringing the film's rating down, honestly. But hey, man, we'll have a separate list at the end of the video, so stay tuned, you guys, stay tuned. Now, compiling all our criteria together, we get a total grade of a B for The Dark Knight. Now, if you ask me, that's too low, but it's still a good grade. It's solid. Man, that first movie was good. Then they made the second one even better. How's that even possible? What are they going to do for the third? The Dark Knight Rises. A little bit disappointing now, just because of how great the previous two were. It's not because the movie's bad or anything. It's not because nothing like that. But I mean, a little bit the black sheep of the Nolan trilogy, but it's still a great conclusion, a great wrap up for this great trilogy, if I'm being honest. Getting right into the criteria, starting with aura. Batman's pretty cool in this film, you know, he has some new gadgets, some new toys. His fighting, okay, this is a good point to talk about the fighting. His fighting has improved, but at the same time, bro, I think this is a good point for me to bring up how the Nolan trilogy in general did not have the best fight scenes, man. They were kind of weak, if I'm being completely honest now. And it really kind of stands out in the third one, but I feel like he's throwing hands a little bit more, so that makes it a little more acceptable. But he does get that butt whooped by Bane. Bane broke the bat. He broke you, little boy. That's what he just did to Batman. So for these reasons, I'm gonna have to take a couple points off his aura and give him a rating of 8 out of 10. I mean, that's still pretty high. He's still aura forming throughout. You know what I'm saying? Messing with little Catwoman, but we'll get to that. Next criteria up, we have gadgets. Now, he doesn't have that overpowered sonar tech anymore, but he's still able to get around, man. Batman has a new shiny toy in this film. He has the Bat, which is basically a freaking Bat UFO looking thing. And he's able to fly around the city, eventually helping him save the day at the end of the film. But I mean, that's the biggest new gadget, and I mean, it's pretty overpowered if you ask me. Also throughout the film, he's like scanning for fingerprints and, you know, using his Bat computer, which I don't think we've seen in the other films. So a couple new gadgets. But since his gadgets are just so tactical, so useful, I gave him a rating of 9 out of 10 for The Dark Knight Rises and his gadgets, because he's freaking Batman, man. I mean, every gadget has a use, and he uses a plethora of gadgets throughout this film, and he comes in clutch. Next criteria up is the alter ego or the Bruce Wayne scenes. And straight off the rip, I'm gonna just say 10 out of 10, bro. We see Bruce Wayne in hiding toward the beginning of the film. You know, after the end of the second one, he has to go into hiding, so he's a little bit broken at the beginning. But then he comes back to being Batman. He gets that confidence back up, and then gets broken again by Bane. So we get to watch Bruce Wayne basically at rock bottom, basically just double broken, just horrible, but still motivated to save his city, bro, and break out of that prison he was in, bro. Bruce Wayne did that. You feel what I'm saying? So it's kind of inspiring, to be honest, man. So definitely a 10 out of 10 for the Bruce Wayne, for the alter ego scenes. Next up on the list, sidekicks, side characters. And they were solid. Jim Gordon's very good in this film. Now, unfortunately, his family left him to go to Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Ohio, so you know I was happy to hear some Ohio representation. I was sad to see that his family left, but I mean, it makes sense because, you know, they were held hostage in the last film, I guess. We got a new character in John Blake, who was basically set up to be the next Robin. You know, this is the end of the franchise, so you don't really get that. But he was very cool throughout the film. You could tell he wanted to eradicate crime, bring these criminals to justice. And overall, he was a pretty good ally to Batman. Alfred was pretty good in this film, but I do feel like he wasn't in it as much. Talia al Ghul, man, she caught me out of nowhere. Like I said, I've never seen this film before, so that twist came out of nowhere. But I mean, it made sense. It came out of nowhere for me, but it made perfect sense. It made perfect sense. Now, Bane. Bane was dope, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Having to fill the villain shoes after Heath Ledger was probably a big task, but I feel like he did pretty well, man. He had Gotham by the balls. You feel me? And he was beating Batman's tail. I mean, he was imposing. His voice may have been a little funny though. His voice was kind of silly, I ain't gonna lie. But the mask looked really dope. I just wish that he was able to really like juice up on that Venom and get like huge. I would have loved that. Maybe for the final, but it's a little too comic booky for Christopher Nolan's universe. I get it, man. His take on Batman is a little more realistic, but Bane was still awesome, man. For these reasons, sidekicks are pretty solid and get a rating of 8 out of 10. They're pretty good. Last but not least, Gotham. Now, again, it's just a realistic city, so nothing really interesting there, but we kind of explore the culture of Gotham in this film. Like, seeing Bane take over the city and hold everybody hostage with a freaking atom bomb, it really turns Gotham into a more hostile environment, kind of ruled by the criminals at this point. So it was interesting to see the police kind of fight against Bane and try to save their city, and you know, Gotham is kind of in danger in this film. So for those reasons, I gave Gotham a rating of 5.5 out of 10. Still pretty low, but it was still pretty cool to see the narrative weight of Gotham in this film, I guess, if that makes sense. Now, compiling all our criteria together, The Dark Knight Rises gets a grade of a B-. Now, that's not trash, but it's not great, but it's solid, you know? I feel like The Dark Knight Rises was a very good conclusion to this trilogy. We get Batman getting a happy ending, which I feel like, I mean, made me happy, made me smile, man. He was kicking it with Catwoman, bruh. And Alfred, you know, Alfred lived to tell the tale. We got hope of a new hero in Gotham. Like, it was a very solid ending. The Nolan verse was freaking fire. Yeah. But this is where it lines up in comparison to the other Batman films. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed the Nolan trilogy. I'm glad I watched it. I'm glad I'm watching these Batman films. They're pretty fire. But with one version of Batman ending, you know, the studio, they gotta get another. So, you know, they recasted Batman and they rebooted him for a new universe. And we're gonna head over to the DCEU and the Snyderverse and check out Batman vs. Superman. Yes, I'm going to rewatch this film even after I just watched it for the Superman video, but I couldn't just skip over it because there's so much Batman in it, so let's go watch. Come here. We doing good? What's up? Batman versus Superman. I was debating whether or not I'm gonna actually watch this film because it's more a Superman movie, but Batman's name comes first in the title, first and foremost, and second of all, he has the best live action Batman fight sequence to date in this film. So I was like, we gotta rewatch it. Last time I watched the Ultimate Edition, this time I just watched the theatrical, so at 30 minutes shorter, so I was like, it'll be all right. We'll just sit through this midness, because I'll be honest, the movie's mid, but the action is peak, but the characters and the plot lines, it's just contrived garbage, if I'm being completely honest. Not garbage, but mid. This is why the Snyderverse must be canceled. Now, that was my previous video, roasting Zack Snyder, roasting the Snyderverse, roasting Snyder fanboys. But with all that being said, Batman vs. Superman, let's get straight into this criteria. Batman's aura in this film. The suit. Let's not even talk about that gorgeous suit. His first shot in the film is aura maxing. The first shot of Batman in the film, he's on that wall like this. Even though he's stalking a police officer, you know, you would want Batman to be stalking a criminal, but I mean, that does not take away from the aura. So that shot, I mean, how many other Batmans do you know in live action that can confidently say they dog walked Superman? Zero. Batman gave Superman belt in this movie. So Batman gets a rating of 10 out of 10 for the aura in Batman v Superman. He's aura farming, aura maxing throughout the entire freaking film. Next criteria up, gadgets. So now we can talk about that gorgeous suit. So the suit is not only beautiful to look at, it's also practical. He can turn his head, he can look around, and it's bulletproof. Come on, man. Come on, man. But forget the suit, bruh. We got a bat plane. We got a new tank. Now, in my opinion, it's not better looking than Christopher Nolan's Batmobile, but it's way more tactical. It's way better, faster, you know, a little more fictional, if you will, like a little more comic booky, but it's better. I mean, the big body tank now. So, I mean, gadgets, another 10 out of 10. This Batman is so far, this is, in my opinion, Ben Affleck's Batman. He's not the best Batman on screen. He's not the best live action Batman, because I would say it's Christopher Nolan so far, you know, because I'm not done with all of them yet. I still gotta watch The Batman. But anyways, I would say Ben Affleck's Batman, he's the most fun to watch, bro. If I'm being completely honest, like, the fact that he never got his own film is just, it's disgusting. Warner Bros, that's just disgusting.
Disgusting.
There will be no conversations about the best live action Batman, but they only gave us Batman v Superman and Justice League, so yeah, that's all we got to go off. But gadgets, yes, gadgets get a rating of 10 out of 10. Perfection. Next, oh, hold on. I didn't even mention he crafted several different gadgets out of kryptonite to go fight Superman. Gadgets get a rating of 11 out of 10, bro. Hold on, bro. I gotta edit that. I ain't gonna lie. You gotta give him an 11 out of 10, bro. I wanted them to be rare. I don't want to do an 11 out of 10 for every section, but that gets an 11 out of 10, flat out. Next criteria up is alter ego. Now, I really enjoyed these Bruce Wayne scenes. I just feel like I didn't get enough. Since it was mainly a Superman film, we were really with Clark Kent and, my fault, Lois Lane. My fault, she makes me fall asleep whenever she's on screen. But we were mainly with Clark Kent. We didn't get much of Bruce Wayne on screen, but when he was on screen, I like Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne, I'm not gonna lie. He was going undercover a lot, you feel me? He was flirting with Wonder Woman, like, the sauce, the Riz, the Munyon, it's all there. But due to us not seeing enough, I give alter ego, aka the Bruce Wayne scenes, a rating of 8 out of 10. Because, you know, I just wanted to see a little bit more, you feel me? But it's not a Batman film, but yeah. Next criteria up is sidekicks. So that's the villains, the side characters, and yeah, I mean, in this film, since it's Batman v Superman, we have Superman technically as a side character, even though it's Superman's film, but you know, this is the Batman video. So Superman is a side character. Superman was pretty dope in this film. A little bit boring, not boring, but like very just stoic and, you know, reserved and numb. Felt just numb, like no emotions. You know, I prefer Superman to be a little, not as emotional as James Gunn's Superman, but just show a little bit of emotion. Little rabbit, little monster. Enough! You don't laser this little dude? But yeah, Superman was a little bit boring, if I'm being honest. Lois Lane, my fault. Whenever I talk about my fault. Lex Luthor, redumulous. That wasn't Lex Luthor, that was the fake knockoff version of the Joker. Doomsday, I actually don't mind Doomsday. I mean, yeah, it would be better if he got his full origin, but I mean, for what they had, what the story was given, because you know, Zack Snyder's story sucked, but for what the story had, Doomsday was fine. He looked cool, he looks cool to me, I ain't gonna lie. Doomsday looks cool to me. He didn't have the ponytail, which if he had grew the ponytail, that would be so cool. He could have been like perfect, but I still thought he was pretty cool. And he was very menacing, very, very powerful, surviving nukes, evolving mid-battle. Like, there's some cool stuff there now. Now let's get more to the Batman side characters. Alfred, dog. I like this version of Alfred quite a bit. Honestly, I might like this version, and I know there's only one movie, he wasn't in it that much, but I might like this version of Alfred more than Nolan's version of Alfred. I feel like he would argue with Bruce a lot, you feel me? Like, I don't know, but this version of Alfred is very supportive. You can tell he also wants Bruce to find a lady, which is, I guess I like that. Like, every version of Alfred wants Bruce to be happy, you feel me? And doesn't want him to risk his life every night. Like, that's fire. So, it's a very good version of Alfred here. Who plays him? Who plays him? Jeremy Irons is the name. I just had to Just had to Google it. But Jeremy Irons is a very good Alfred, not gonna lie. Last but not least, the final side character I would like to discuss is Wonder Woman, because although Diana is present throughout the film, Wonder Woman is kind of thrown in the last battle, like in the last second. So I feel like she was a little bit rushed, but I mean, it's, you know, it's cool to see the three biggest superheroes in DC fight together. So I'll allow it. The Diana scenes, honestly, I like more than the Wonder Woman scenes because they, you know, have a better impact on the story. Like, they make more sense. Like, seeing her and Bruce Wayne kind of go at it, learn more information about Lex Luthor and his corrupt tactics. Pretty cool. Overall, I gave the sidekicks and side characters a rating of 8 out of 10 because they were pretty cool to me. Final criteria up is Gotham. Now, with this being a Superman-centric film, we don't get much of Gotham because, you know, most of it is taking place in Metropolis. Like, we get brief glimpses of Gotham. Like, you know, kind of trash if I'm being honest. I mean, we see an Ace Chemicals building and that's pretty much it. We were really in like an abandoned part of Gotham, which I don't believe. They just wanted to say that so we didn't question all the high number of casualties in these intense, ridiculous Dragon Ball Z battles. Sorry, Zack Snyder, but I'm just gonna say it. But just a regular city, I mean, nothing special about it. So since Gotham was buns and we didn't see enough of it, I gave Gotham a rating of 3 out of 10. Oh! Pretty disappointing. Compiling all our criteria together, Batman v Superman gets a grade of a B-, which so far, bro, the Batman movies are a lot better than the Superman movies, bro. Like, I'm noticing that now. Like, for Superman, we got a lot of D's, we got a couple F's, some C's, but Batman is staying generally around the B range. Here's where this movie lines up with the other Batman films. And so far, I have not been disappointed by these Batman films. Even the older ones that everyone says are terrible, they were pretty bad, but they weren't Superman levels of bad. Like, some of those Superman movies were genuinely unwatchable. Like, there hasn't been a single unwatchable Batman film yet. And for that, I say we give Batman a round of applause. I ain't gonna lie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Respect to the Bat, but we ain't done yet.
I think we ain't doing yet.
We have one more Batman film, and a lot of people consider this to be the greatest Batman film. It's time to watch The Batman. Dun, 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 dun. 2022's The Batman. So boom, just like that, we have a new version of The Batman to follow. The Batman is a very interesting movie. Now, it's 3 freaking hours long. Okay, so that separates it from a lot of these Batman movies because some of them I feel like were kind of quick. The Batman is different because it focuses on the world's greatest detective moniker that Batman has, and it's actually a mystery detective film starring the Bat and him teaming up with the Commissioner. And it was very engaging throughout. But I do have a couple complaints if I'm being honest, so we're gonna get to those. But first, we're gonna start with our first criteria, and that is aura. Now, this Batman feels very mortal, just very like realistic, grounded, but a little weak. I don't know how to say it. Like, I mean, he seems weak, but at the same time, he survived some crazy stuff throughout the film, so kind of weird moments. Like, he took a bomb to the freaking face. Like, that makes you lose aura, but then you gain aura because you survived it. It's honestly a paradox. Now, that opening scene though, I feel like that was him aura farming, and he never got anywhere near that level of aura for the rest of the film, man. The criminals were so scared just based off of the bat signal alone. They're like, is he in the shadows? Is he on top of it? Like, I'm telling you, bro, that was aura incarnate. But other than that, like I said, taking bombs to the face, he tried to wingsuit glide and then he got folded doing that. It was just, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you go from this much aura in the beginning of the film to this much halfway to this much by the end? Like, we gotta get better. Batman, we gotta lock in. But as far as aura for this film, I'm gonna be nice and give him a 7 out of 10. Because I mean, he had some highs, he had some lows. Next criteria up is gadgets. Now, the main gadget throughout this film is that real nice little wrist grappler that he used a couple times. Like, go, let go. Other than that, I mean, the gadgets were lacking in this one. We got a new Batmobile. This John, I mean, it's real cool, but like when we comparing it to the last 2 that we just had, like, it's a major downgrade, dog. I mean, yeah, in real life, that's fire. It's a freaking muscle car, and when they established that he had it, the noise it made. perfection, music to my ears, but other than that, bro, I mean, like I said, he had that grappler on his wrist. I mean, he had a completely bulletproof suit. He took a couple shotgun blasts to the chest. It was kind of crazy. But then at the end, he got shotgunned, and then he used some, they said it wasn't venom, which is what Bane uses. They said it was just adrenaline, but I think it would have been cool, and it would have been better world building if it was venom. So in my mind, in my head canon, he had venom, so he has some gadgets throughout. The Batcave was solid. He had some eye, like, recording contact lenses, which was pretty cool. His technology was the best, but you know, it's the newest entry, so that makes sense. Overall, for gadgets, I would give him a rating of 6 out of 10. I mean, not trash, not great, just eh. All right, next criteria up is alter ego, AKA the Bruce Wayne scenes. You know, this film was called The Batman, so there's not a lot of room for the Bruce Wayne. I can't lie, man. Bruce Wayne was not a selling point for this film, which, I mean, that's good for the film, in my opinion, because it's like, yeah, I mean, I want to see more Batman on screen, so I got no problems with it. But as far as this criteria, you're about to get a ding. You're about to get a ding on the scoreboard. Bruce Wayne just seemed really antisocial, you know. Nothing wrong with being an introvert, but he was antisocial throughout this film. He was a recluse, you feel me? Like, he wasn't even keeping up appearances. Alfred, like, come on, dog. Like, where's your cufflinks? Like, where's your drip? Literally, no drip, no swag. He just got money. Bro, the money cannot unlame you, Bruce. Alter ego, AKA the Bruce Wayne scenes, get a rating of 3 out of 10. Pathetic. Next criteria up is sidekicks / side characters. Now, very interesting here. Yeah, you see I'm rubbing my hands because we about to get started. So we got a couple of villains throughout this film. We got the Penguin, right? Dope. He was so dope. He got his own spin-off show that everyone says is amazing. I'm not gonna check it out though. We got the Penguin. We got the Falcone. You know, Falcone crime boss. You know, slithery, backstabbing. He ends up getting taken off. You know, spoiler alert. The movie came out 3 years ago. He was the Rat. Shh. And then third villain, we got the Riddler. Now, the Diddler. Now, this is where things get complicated because the Riddler was so cool. Like, it felt like they were just building. Like, they kept building up. He kept dropping hints like, riddle me this, riddle me that, Batman. And Batman had nothing to do about it. He was so shook. He couldn't figure anything out. The Riddler was always one step ahead, and then his final plan was just garbage. I ain't gonna lie. Apparently, he's a streamer now. Like, when did this happen? How are we chasing the Riddler throughout the entire film and he just has a secret Streamlabs setup where he streams up his plans of world domination? His viewers are some Redditor incels giving them tips on how to make explosives. It just came out of left field, but yeah, Riddler was pretty disappointing, I can't lie. In my opinion, he was great, and then it just was like, okay, what's going on? He turned himself in, and then that's when he became garbage. Next up, Catwoman. Oh my goodness, I loved Catwoman in this film. I feel like they didn't really like go at each other at all. You know, back in Batman Returns, bruh, they will fight, they will flirt, they might team up for a second, but then they would go back to fighting and flirting. I feel like in this movie they just team up, flirt. They fought when they first met, but then, you know, they never got back to fighting, which, I mean, it's fine, it's cool. I mean, it was great to have a ally for Batman, you know what I'm saying? It was great for Batman to finally have someone on his team, but I don't know. I really did like Catwoman. I'm just saying, she just seemed like a straight good guy. Like, she's supposed to be an anti-hero, thief type, you know what I'm saying? But still great. Alfred in this film, nah, I was not a fan of this approach of Alfred. It felt like him and Bruce were like cold towards each other. Like, their relationship just felt a little off, in my opinion. I was, you know, especially with the previous versions of Alfred, they were actually all great. Like, and then last but not least, Commissioner Gordon in this film. Give me a round of applause for Commissioner Gordon in this film. Commissioner Gordon in this film was freaking awesome. Okay, this was the best. I'm gonna say it. I was thinking about him like, well, I don't want to say it. It's only one movie. You know, Nolan's trilogy had, you know, 3. But bro, the Batman's Commissioner Gordon is the best live action Commissioner Gordon, bro. Excuse me, let me say that again. The Batman's Commissioner Gordon is the best live action Commissioner Gordon. And I know that's kind of crazy because there's only one movie in this universe. He was very supportive to Batman, and he was, you know, Jeffrey Wright. I like Jeffrey Wright as well. So maybe I'm a little biased. Maybe, I'm gonna be honest, I might be biased, but hey, I felt like this Commissioner Gordon was awesome, dog. So for all those reasons, sidekicks in The Batman get a rating of 8 out of 10. Really getting brought down by the Riddler, I can't lie. Now next on. Now for the final criteria of this film, Gotham. I feel like I've been saying the same thing for all these later incarnations. It's like, as they go on, they get less and less stylized, but this one did have some style to it. This one felt like NYC, which is, you know, modern day technology and electric billboards everywhere, kind of mixed with that old Gothic style, Gothic architecture. So, I mean, it seemed like a place not a place I want to go, no. I go to Gotham, I'm gonna get mugged, bro. I go to Gotham, where's my car? Hold on. Honey, didn't you park the car outside? She's like, yeah. Well, that's Gotham for you. Nah, heck no, I would never visit Gotham. Batman kind of gliding through. He didn't really have a cape like, bro, I'm telling you, Batman Begins was better, I ain't gonna lie. But woo, that's a discussion for another video. I'm gonna make a video on that. I like Batman Begins better than The Batman. For all these reasons, Gotham in The Batman gets a rating of 7 out of 10. Compiling all our criteria together, The Batman gets a grade of a D-. I'm just waiting for the comments. I'm waiting for y'all to get mad, bro. Hey, that's not my grade for the film. That's just our grade based off of the criteria. And here's where it stacks up with the other Batman films. Yikers. Yikers, that's crazy though. I mean, hey man, hate the game, not the player, man. Don't hate me, bro. That's just the criteria. But yeah, man, I did it. I watched every Batman film. I freaking did it.
We did it!
So, we watched all the Batman films. Fantastic. Yeah, guys, we made it to the end of the live-action Batman franchise. Okay, this thing feels kind of funny. I really enjoyed that Nolan trilogy. Now, I didn't see any of those beforehand. I did. I saw The Dark Knight. And I may have seen Batman Begins when I was real young. I just don't remember. But I definitely hadn't seen The Dark Knight Rises. I've seen the Batman, but I finally got to rewatch it. I've been wanting to rewatch it, but it's 3 hours, so I never wanted to allocate the time. But hey, we allocated the time today, baby. We had to, so we could get through this entire franchise. Now it's time for us to investigate which Batman film is the best. Let's scoot over here. Now this is our tier list based off of our criteria that we had, you know what I'm saying? So based off of our grades that we gave these films, these are the films that are on top, and these are the films that are, you feel me? But now, we gotta switch it up and give the opinionated tier list. Now these are the better rankings as far as my opinion, what movie I enjoyed most, what movie I didn't enjoy, because there were no movies I felt like I hated in this entire watch party, which is, it's honestly a new record. I ain't gonna lie, because them I think I said it at another point in this video, some of them Superman movies. Some of them Superman movies, bro, they were a struggle to get through. But the Batman films, let's give it a round of applause for the Bat. Let's give a round of applause for the Batman. Some of these Batman films were great, but all of them were at least decent. Like, none of them were unwatchable. There were at least 2 Superman films that were unwatchable. So, therefore, Batman is still the king of DC, and he still owns Superman.
Shut up, man!
I own you. Making sure I'm like, whoa, what the heck? Darkness. I'm really feeling like Batman now. Now let me chill. But yeah, you guys, I appreciate you for watching this long. If you made it to this point in the video, comment The Batman 2 down below, because we know The Batman 2 is not gonna drop. We know it's not gonna drop, y'all. It's 2025. The Batman came out in 2022, right? And they're scared to announce that it's canceled. They're gonna wait till after Superman drops to announce that it's canceled. Bruh, I know these things. You feel me? But yeah, comment The Batman 2 down below if you made it to the end of this film, because we all want to see The Batman 2, me included. Even if the Batman somehow got that horrible grade. But hey, like I said, blame the criteria, don't blame me. Comment down below what other watch parties you guys want, which is when, you know, I pick a franchise and watch every movie from the franchise. I might eventually expand it to TV shows as well. Yeah, man, this summer is going to be crazy for creativity, you guys. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so if you're watching this, man, you made it this far, you rock with me, bro. You might as well subscribe. I'm not gonna lie to you. You might as well subscribe. This is the end. I appreciate you for watching this long. My name is Scatpack Shon. Like the video if you liked the video. Drop a comment if you thought my ratings were valid. Drop a comment if you thought my commentary, my analysis of these Batman films were valid. And if you didn't, drop a comment telling me why. You feel me? Because, yeah, it can be smoke, you know? You can be my Joker. Yeah. Nah, I'm just trolling. But until next time, it's your boy Scatpack Batman. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace! I own you.